Good evening. Hi, Arlene, darling. Mark Williams, good evening. So today I went down up to the post office because of striking. Now, before I went down talking to the people at the post office, I talked about the approximately 6,000 redundancies they want to do, which is in the news. I also mentioned, obviously, with it being a big business, I mentioned that people would probably get in pay rises, the bosses. Now, all this got confirmed when I talked to the guy. He said no one's going to talk to me. He said 6,000 jobs. He said pay rise for the shareholders. A bit of information here, which I said I would do. This is at a time when RPI inflation is currently running at 11.8%, and when Royal Mail has announced group profits of 758 million, and when the company is paying out many millions to private shareholders. So I mentioned all this before I went down. And when I asked, is there anyone to speak to, got told no one's going to speak to here. Not, I have to speak to the person who's authorized to speak. Not, you'll have to go and see our press section. Just no one's going to speak to you. And I just think it's really ignorant. I also mentioned that the Royal Mail, the Royal Mail would hire a lot of people. Our last biggest single employer that went was a couple of years ago, which was Shop Direct in Shaw. Now I think Park Cakes is the biggest single employer. Now, I had no idea. I forgot about the union until I came today. Then I went down to a sign which said CW Union, and I said, well, that must be the union. Yeah. So, you know, I don't know what untruths I've said or anything. I did get confused between Post Office and Royal Mail, which are two separate entities, obviously. But you just don't think that. You don't always think that. So I'm not sure. Well, someone said that I should do my research first. Research on what? I'm concerned about jobs being lost in my town. Nobody else seems to be saying anything. And the guy, and as well, I said that a lot of people from Oldham would be employed here. The guy again said everyone here is from Oldham. So, yeah, you know, I'm concerned that Oldhamers are losing jobs. One of them is a voter of mine. So why shouldn't I get involved? Why shouldn't I see what's going on? Another comment was a guy come on and said, wait, let me just find it. Who's ignorant? It's not the post office, it's Royal Mail, and you don't even know what union. Your racist views are not welcome. So obviously he's looked through me thingy. Ian Moran, I hope he's from Oldham, and I hope I see him, and I'll be asking for that guy's name every time I go to, if I go here again, I'll be asking for that guy's name, because obviously he's a big hard man on Facebook and can say things, but he probably wouldn't talk to me like that to my face. So, but yeah, so, you know, and do I have any love for the unions? Not one little bit. I don't know any union that I don't love. They're all left-leaning. And obviously, off that comment off that guy, it's probably an hardcore raging lefty who will deny that there's child sexual exploitation going on across the country, call everybody politically correct names who stands up against it. But you know what? We're going to keep talking about it, mate, Ian. We're going to keep talking about it. I will forever be posting comments on that comment and links for you to look at till you delete the comment, and I'm not deleting it. But, you know, so I thought it was all right. The stuff that I was saying beforehand, the 6,000 people being made redundant. I also mentioned about the post office scandal where postmasters were convicted because the post office, not the Royal Mail, the post office had a debunked computer system and stuff like that. I also talked about that. But I mean, I don't have any love for unions, guys. I've got to be brutally honest with the truth. I don't have any love for unions. Not because I don't think they're a good thing, but I think that when we get these unions, the power goes to their head like it does to everyone else. And I don't know if many of you are aware, but I did an interview a couple of years ago with a woman called Jan Cruikshank, who was sexually assaulted, and her union, Unite Union, they just like threw her to the dogs, really, and didn't support her or anything. They supported the guy. So, you know, I don't have any love for our unions. I really don't. And I didn't know it was a union thing until I turned up today. But, you know, that's what I'm going to expect when I'm sticking up for people's jobs, which I'll remind them all next time. When I go up, I'll say, well, I will be your councillor in Oldham soon. Has any other councillors supported you? Any of the council or senior members of the council supporting you, not making sure you don't lose your jobs? No, they're not. But I will. I will. No matter what, I will. And, you know, I know people who've worked Royal Mail. They've liked the jobs, the long-time people. But what I think I'll do now, I'll go and find one of them and talk to them about it. I won't mention any names. It'll be off the books. But I'll talk to them and see what they think rather than trying to talk to these lot here. But yeah, so that was my morning today. It was raining. I'm not too bothered. I only live quarter of a mile away from here, so why wouldn't I come? I am interested because it's jobs. There's no jobs in Oldham. We're a poor, destitute town. There's no good jobs or anything. And if there is jobs, they're really low-skilled paying jobs. So yeah, I'm concerned that Oldham residents may lose their jobs through the post office. So I wanted to talk to them. I will try and go through the press office thing, but I'm just not happy having to do that to talk to somebody in a job who's going to lose a job. I'm just not happy, man. Why can't people talk? Everything the guy said to me when I first went up is in the public domain anyway. He didn't say anything that he shouldn't have said. He never named any names. I never named any names. But this is what we have to go through, unfortunately. This is what we have to go through. But it'll not put me off. I promise you, it won't put me off. They do, Mark. You're right. Oh, look at all them. He certainly did, Mark. Yeah. Thank you for that, guys. You're right. You're right. Unions fund Antifa. Well, I mean, Unite Union funded Labour to the tune of 12 million in 2019 general election. You can quote me on that. I think that's, is it? Let me just check. I'll double check that. Well, actually, it's only giving me a number of 3 million there, and I have seen more than that. Let me just... Oh, Unite going to vow to reduce Labour Party funding. But yeah, so they get funded. They fund the Labour Party, and yeah, I would say they would fund a hardcore left as well somewhere down the way. But you know, I'm not desponded. nobody wants to talk to me, but they could have said, somebody could have said, you have to talk to our representative and not be so ignorant when they were talking to me. That's what they could have said. It was easy to say. They should have all known it. They've been striking for ages, so they would know that they have to talk through somebody, media have to go through their media representative. But no one said that to me. That's why I called them ignorant, right? And I will call them ignorant again if they treat me like that. But, you know, it's just the way things go. Obviously, again, I'm concerned about jobs as people losing jobs. I'm concerned that Aldermans are going to lose jobs. I'm concerned that one of my electorate could lose his job, and he loves his job. So, you know, I'm concerned. And why shouldn't I get involved? I should do. I mean, I don't think there's any other kind of support from the council. Don't think any other councillors have said anything. I will look. I don't think they have. I don't see any kind of response of anyone in Oldham about the rail strike, except for those who the post Royal Mail strike, except for those who are doing it. So really, they should be thanking me for supporting them. Now, I've had a rough morning with them this morning, but it's not going to stop me. I will email the representative and I will push to get an interview next time I go to one of the demonstrations. I won't be mentioning anyone's name, but I will be asking how many people, 6,000, have you been offered a percentage, which they already have. They've turned down. The Royal Mail members have had an unagreed 2% pay deal imposed on them. And they voted 98.7% on a 72% turnout for strike action. So everyone were up for it. But yeah, so that's the Royal Mail. I'll put the CW, I'll put the union thing in the chat if you want to have a quick look at it. Now, yes, Dave, I hope you're all right, man. I just want to go through. We've got the Justice for Ellie case ongoing. Loads of people have said. Now, a friend of mine, Simon, said that she beat herself with a hammer and caused all them wounds. Right, sure she did. I've seen the state of Ellie's face, black eyes, bruises all over. She's done all that to herself. Now, yeah, it's possible someone could do something like that. But how likely is it that I think that a 19-year-old or 18-year-old girl would be able to do that kind of damage to herself? No, they wouldn't. Everyone's going on about she's got 2 white lads sent down. I've never said that she's telling the truth. I said she could be lying. Many videos over the past couple of years I've said that. But there's more to it than meets the eye. I'd like to know how she received all them bruises and beats on her. Because even if she's lied, she's got someone to do that to her. So why hasn't that been brought up in court yet? Just saying. I'm just saying there's bigger things behind it than what we know. We know the police are liars and they already tried to fit up one girl. We know that the media are in collusion with the police. I've showed you that video that Anne-Marie Waters did. It was 4 years prior to Justice for Ellie. And she speaks how she's come across Amy Fenton, the convicted cocaine snorting journalist who tried to intimidate her with big words. I've showed you this video and all the emails. Anne-Marie Waters has got all the emails. And what she said on that video is that the police have give details out to the media, which they shouldn't do. That's breaking the law, that data breach, breaking the data breach. If you report anything to police, that information should not go to anybody else. But it went to Amy Fenton, who then tries using big words and branding Anne-Marie Waters with PC words. So, you know, just a thought, but we'll have to see at the end of the trial. I won't be satisfied. I want to know how all them bruises and injuries have happened to her. If she'd done it herself, that is amazing. If she beat herself with an hammer, that's what my mate Simon says. No, you're wrong, John. She beat herself with an hammer. Sure she did. Sure she did. Let me just show you some of the. Let me just show you. So she'd done that to her own face. And then there's injuries all over her body, cuts. I think there is a bite mark on her back. So I'm wondering how she'd done all that to herself. Honestly, it's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And I'll tell you what, if it comes out that court case is a load of rubbish, I'll be spending a lot of time in Cumbria and Barrow, calling them all out. I will. I'll be outside that police station. I'll be outside Preston Crown Court. If it comes that nothing gets done and she gets convicted of whatever charges, I'm going to be kicking off if we don't find out who's done all that to her and the real truth behind the case. And, a family, a brother absolutely 100% believes her. Some of her friends do. Again, she could have lied, but we've talked about this in the past. After threats to your family and stuff like that, would you lie? If your family, if threats to kill your family members were put on you, you would think twice about telling the truth. You would. And I mean, as an adult, I probably wouldn't do. This girl is 17 or 18 years old, and I don't believe that she will be able to take them kind of threats without saying something. And I've said this from the beginning. So I just want to mention that. I think it's fairly relevant. I will attend the case sometime. Not sure when. The trial was on for up to 8 weeks. Thanks, Arlene. The case was on for 8 weeks. I think we're on the 2nd or 3rd week. So I hope to maybe get to the end of the case and stuff like that, or any other part of it. I have been given information off a guy who's been going up there, attending a couple of the cases. But again, you tell me if you could do all that kind of damage to your own body with an hammer. And that's what I'm being told. She got an hammer and did all that herself. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. And yeah, right. I just don't believe it. I really don't believe it. I'm honestly, I just not having it that it's like that, and that's what people think. But in the end, and I've talked with Pat about this, Ellie might have lied. It could be all true that she's done whatever, but I would like to know how she's got in that state in the first place. We can't solve things with our kids unless we understand what's going wrong with them growing up. Is it something to do with a family? Is it something to do with an ex-boyfriend? Has she been indoctrinated? Has she been gang raped? There's a lot of questions that I'd like to be answered. And again, because more evidence has come out that she's lied, everyone's gone off her, and they say some of the nastiest things. I just pray that would never happen to your children. That's what I pray, because I'd be the only person sticking up for them while everyone else is slagging them off and doing a kangaroo court. There'd only be Big John talking sense. There'd only be Big John talking sense. I mean, our kids are being indoctrinated at an early age, and they're all turning out trans. So we can show you that indoctrination is bad. So what has happened in Ellie's past for her to be, if she's guilty, be such a nasty person? What's happened in Ellie's past that she says these kind of things? You know what I mean? There's a lot of questions out there. And if you use your common sense, you can realise that them questions are there. So this is Big John, NHPUK TV, live Thursday night. I'm out tomorrow knocking and canvassing. If you'd like to help, I do need some boots on the street. I've got a couple of lads, but I'm not sure that's enough. Please get in contact with me. I'm mostly in Hollinwood every Friday and Saturday. Also during the week, I can get down there. But if you've got some time, you like to deliver any leaflets or do some door knocking, please get in contact with me. My email's there and my phone number's there. And somebody from Doncaster come on a few weeks ago, and you haven't messaged me. You haven't emailed me about Doncaster. I will come up, but you've got to email me first, and then we'll set a plan up, and then I'll come up Doncaster, and I'll go around wherever you want to show me areas, as I've been doing across Greater Manchester. Been to Lee the other week, in Wigan, Rochdale a couple of times. I'm due to be going down Ashton again soon. And I'm not just spreading the word of my party, but I will be doing videos on certain articles and stuff like that. But yeah, you know, what's behind it all? What's behind the kids grow up so nasty these days? They're being indoctrinated. Obviously, they've got all the rights in the world. If you shout at them, you can get in trouble. If you shout at your kid or swear at them or anything, you could get in trouble. Now, when I got shouted at or swore at when I was younger, I just shut up and I wouldn't cause any trouble. But them days are gone. Obviously, human rights and, you know, you can't even discipline your kids these days. You know what I mean? So it's sad, really. If you notice the paperwork that's stuck up on the screen, it's me election paperwork. Just there's some timetables and that I need to just check on every now and then. Tomorrow is the day I've got to check in tomorrow with them to make sure that my nomination papers have been correctly done. And then hopefully Monday, I will be on the nominations list to run in the election, which is on the 17th of November. And then obviously, whoever gets in will just be a councillor until May next year, when we have a big election where they're electing all 60 councillors and the 3 members of parliament that are all being elected next May, because we've had boundary changes. It's a good time for the independents, the independent parties, and my party to get our feet in the council and get a council seat. And I'm quite confident that I will do well and I will have a council seat within the next couple of years. I'm very confident of that. I'm going to keep working on it. I'm not going to stop. I'm trying to get people in the Limeside area to also run as councillors. If I can get 3 of them to run and they get all the 3 seats, that'd be even better. But obviously I'm one of them at the moment. But, you know, going forward, if I can get a couple of decent people in the Limeside area to run as councillors who are going to do stuff, who are proactive and stuff like that, then I can move on to another area, as long as but, you know, my focus is trying to encourage people to stand up and run in elections. We're never going to get anywhere. You're either going to be a civil war or running in elections. Let me see what... see what... Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm Alec. How a claw hammer with her. What? And she's beat herself with that claw hammer. I just really don't see it, me. Somebody else done it to her, yeah. But herself doing all them bruises, isn't hitting herself with an hammer over and over, a big black eye and all that. I just don't see anyone being able to inflict that kind of damage on themselves. That's why I'm not going with the narrative. I will not. It does, doesn't it? Honestly, you just couldn't make it up. You're thinking exactly the same as me, mate. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. And anybody else, if you've seen the pictures of Ellie, I wish she'd done all that herself. Now, she could still have lied and someone could have done that to her, but that's not what's saying. That's not, you're right, that's not what's saying. The prosecution claim that she's done it to herself. I'm not having it. The police are lying. Their inclusion with the media. They've already lied about, they've already took the Ellie Reynolds to court over 2 years for blackmail that got thrown out when it were in court. I just don't get it, mate. And people still are criticising everyone else instead of looking at the bigger picture. And I've talked about it before. There's plenty of girls who've been raped who've lied. But the police make them out to be liars. The police charge them with drunk and disorderly when they found him a room with eight half-naked men. The police charge them. Charge the girls with being drunk and disorderly and stuff like that. And they've totally ignored all the girls who've been physically abused and stuff like that, cigarettes put out of them. When the rape gangs first come out, you won't find many cases where when the rape gangs first come out and it first started to come out, this scandal, right? When you looked in articles where people have been convicted, it never said anything about threatening to kill, trafficking, physically damaging these people. That's only come out a few years after, because the police are under pressure now to report everything as it is. And there's plenty of books you can read to corroborate that. One of them's called Easy Meat by Peter McLaughlin. Brutal book, absolutely brutal book. And it goes through all these cigarette burns, gun being put to your head, knife to your throat. You never heard any of that in these first cases. It's only the past couple of years that these things are coming out now, but they've been going on all these years. And I'm just not having it, me. I'm really not. And I'm not going to be silent when this is going on and people are lying and ignoring it. I just won't be. People can call me whatever names they want. Nobody will ever rationally debate me because they've got nothing to debate. Their truth is false, yet my truth is true. So that, there won't be many debates on it or anything like that, because the lefties and the anti-fascists or whatever, they don't. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. Yeah, it has been going on since the 70s, Blaze, you're right. And the system, and people have just ignored it. And now Labour people are complicit in just absolutely blanking these things and then just calling your names. Going forward, I'm not going to be going to any Conservative conferences. I'm going to the Labour conferences now. That's where I'm going. And I'm going to repeat statements. I'm going to repeat cases. Even when I have to set what I'm going to do next time at a Labour conference, I'll be telling them all our 14-year-old girl turned up to school with cum stains all over her school stuff, and she'd not even been home, and she was still under the influence of drugs and drink. I'm going to say things like that. I'm going to read out these articles that about these kids. That's what I'm going to do at the next Labour conferences. I know a lot of people will be scowling at me, but, well, they won't. They might scowl a little bit, but I wouldn't expect any of them to come over, tell you the truth. Some will, but, to debate or talk to me. But that's how I'm going to go on with Labour conferences in the future. I've had enough of protesting the Conservatives. They're digging themselves into their early grave themselves. But I mean, Thing is, guys, when you go get a new job, Arlene, you know, normally you get like a 2-month trial or a 1-month trial. A 13-year-old attacked in Blackpool yesterday. It's not be okay now. Arlene, I'm only on the John Lawrence channel, not me NHPUK. Where? Oh no. Or I'm on NHPUK. Yeah, I'm only on John Lawrence Live. I'm on YouTube and I'm on Twitter. But yeah, you know, you're right. There's a lot they're not saying, and it's wrong, mate. It's wrong that we should not be. You know, it's wrong that people don't say anything. It is so wrong, and it's time for us. It's up to us to change it, and I will. I'm hoping to change people's views, and by getting in, people can call me names all they want. Don't really affect me. I will kick off if you start going on about my mum. I'll promise you I will kick off then. But other than that, there won't be much to stop me saying what I'm going to say. I haven't been cancelled yet. And the reason why we've not put my latest flyer up is because there's a lot of cancelling stuff on it. There's a lot of cancelling stuff on my flyer, but I'll give it another week, 2 weeks, and I'll post my flyer on social media and stuff like that. But I'm just not doing it yet. I don't want the hassle of getting posts took down. I don't want anyone mithering me while I've got this busy month, couple of weeks coming up. But thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's looking like in around 2 weeks' time, or just over a week, I'm going to be doing a special report from Muir of Ord in Inverness over Jackie's chippy, who ended up slagging the Queen off, calling her a lizard, not saying anything factual. She just called her a lizard first, and I can't be doing with people who say that. And I'm going to be doing a video in Muir of Ord and maybe talking to a couple of the people up there about this incident with Jackie. I don't know if the chippy is still going. I think someone else is in the chippy now, as far as I know. Arlene, you can maybe find out about that. But yeah, so that'll be in a couple of weeks. But thank you very much for tuning in. Big John here. It's Thursday, and it's 20th of October. Liz Truss has resigned. Our government is a shambles. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm not joking. I could go and get junior school kids who could run the country better than our current people who are running it. Honestly, a school full of junior school kids could run that government better than what the adults are doing. I'm sick of all the fighting against each other instead of sorting. We've just done 2 years of COVID, which wasn't Labour's fault, which wasn't Conservatives' fault. And they're doing nothing. They're doing absolutely nothing. Immigration, they're doing nothing. They're doing absolutely nothing. Yet everyone's complaining that we have to build houses on the green belt, but none of these people, some will, but most of them won't say anything against immigration. It's like Kemi Badenoch said, we're never going to sort out housing till we sort out immigration. And the NHPUK policy is no permanent settlement immigration from anywhere in the world, whether you're white, whatever colour you are. We don't want you. We don't want you. Another thing is our values and our British history is being erased, extended. And as I said, I will be doing a video, 2 books here, Black and British by David Ossologa, which is full of half-truths and lies. And why I'm no longer talking to white people about race by Rini Edo Lodge. It's a woman, but you can't tell. You'd think it were a guy. But I mean, I just want to show you something in here in the Black and British book. I can find it. It's going on about Africa. And don't know if you can see it properly. So he's here's Africa, and he's just put in the middle, it says Africa. The side it says Mauritania, which is Morocco, and then the other side would be Libya and all that lot. Well, that's North Africa, and North Africans are not sub-Saharan black people, and he always points at North Africa. So it's very misleading, that map. It's very misleading. It is a continent of Africa, but the people who live in North Africa more look like Arabs than they do look like black people. And they're ethnically different as well. But he always has to point to that. But we'll be. I've been started reading it. I started reading both these books. I don't want to talk about them if I haven't read the books. Roman Empire, 17 AD. They said it was a black Roman emperor. There wasn't. And he wasn't sub-Saharan black. He was brown, probably more looking Arab looking than black. But yeah, these are the kind of things that I do. I know there's videos and that slagging these books off, saying they're untruths, but I wouldn't be a very good person if I didn't read the book first. So I've got them two to read. And they'll be up and coming. Yes, Lisa. You're right, MPs. You know, Labour go on about the poor and all that. Like, see how much Keir Starmer makes. Keir Starmer's fortune, how Labour leaders' worth compares to Truss, Sunak and Johnson. He's worth millions. Let's just say that. He's worth millions. Yeah, he's always going on that like the working class people don't get no money. They've got him and his missus reportedly hold much of their riches in 4 homes, believed to be worth around 15 million. According to Idle Net Worth, Sir Keir is worth an incredible 7.7 million. You know, if I was an MP, I wouldn't be. I'd only be on my MP salary, but I wouldn't have an extra job. I probably wouldn't be the chairman of anything, all right, like that. So I'll never earn that much, even if I got to being Chancellor of the Exchequer, I'd just get that money, but I wouldn't be worth all them billions and millions behind it. Just scumbags, all these lot, honestly. They're sucking us dry, and we're the ones who pay them. That's it. We're the ones with all the power. We're the ones with all the power. And yeah, they're just sucking us dry, and so is everyone else. Shitty. Life for the shitty man. Communist agent C. Hunt will fix it all. Anyway, thank you very much, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I'll catch you all up soon. I'm off. I'm a bit knackered tonight. I had a late night with my mum last night. And obviously I was out early this morning, so we're up at 7. And that's early for me on a normal day. It's normally later than that, 9, 10 o'clock, unless I'm traveling. But thank you very much for tuning in. Emails are at the bottom if you want to get in contact with me. If you want to throw a few quid into my PayPal, be well worth it there. And like I said, Big John's running elections on my second election in a year. And by next May, I'll be done my third election, which will be 5 elections for just me and Pat in 1 year. 5 elections. Now, you know, I know people go up to run to be a councillor and that, but I don't know anyone else who'll have done. 2 people have done 5 elections in a year. And we are confident that we're going to get better and we're going to do weller and better and better. I'll just put the link to the National Housing Party website if you want to have a look at that. You can join through PayPal at the moment. We will have bank details up, but you can join through PayPal. And if you want to help us and you can't do anything on the street, the other way is to join the party and put 20 quid in, which will keep us going. You know, we're going to get more people joining. We're going to get more people. And I'm hoping when I get a seat, that's going to spur people on to join the party as well. And I mean, if you live in your town, don't ever think that you haven't got a chance. If you live in a town where you know people across the town, you've got all the chance in the world to get in, especially now, because people do not want Labour or Conservative in. They really don't. If, you know, everyone's peed off with them. Everybody is. Labour, Conservative, you know, they're going to grind us into, oh, we need to come out of this 2-party system. I would support proportional voting and just changing voting for the better, because we don't get democratic votes, you know. And you know they're looking at Boris coming back in. That's what they're looking at, Boris coming back in. I'm no fan of Boris. I never liked him as prime minister. He should have stayed as mayor or Chancellor of the Exchequer or foreign whatever, but not prime minister. I never liked him, and I only never liked him. And it's been proven he's just a liar, and he did do a lot of lies. You know, we got through COVID, but you know that's all rubbish as well. You know what I mean? They're just trying to set us up, fit us up, make sure we're all in boxes and all that lot. Then they'll come out with a new world order and dominate us all. That's what they're going to do. But thank you very much for tuning in. Big Johnny, your NHPUK TV. In the link to my party website, you can join us through PayPal, no problem. And at least sign up to the newsletter. There's regular articles going on. We have asked people to write articles for us as well, so we're going to get some guest articles written up for us. We've had a couple of interesting articles on as well. But yeah, thank you very much. Good night. Good night, everyone. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Steve. Thank you very much. Thank you, mate. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Mark. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Arlene, the Roch, everyone in the chat, and I'll catch you all up soon. Thank you.